Apple has been calling iOS 8 its biggest iOS release ever for developers and for everyone else. I think we all know that iPhone and iPad are quickly becoming devices of choice at work because they're also devices of choice in daily life and management of these devices. It's something that organizations have had to focus on. That gets better in iOS 8 for businesses because of new security, productivity, and other exciting features. Hey there, everyone. James Hilliard with you, and on our Connection Point podcast today, pleased to have Justin Stronk back with us. He is an Apple Business Development Specialist with PC Connection. Justin here today to tell us about iOS 8, some of those new features. We're going to talk a little bit about trade-in and leasing options as well, so stay tuned for that. Justin, appreciate you joining us, and really for the past 2 months or so, since about mid-September 2014, you've had an opportunity to be tinkering, to be playing around with the operating system.
That's correct, James. I've been playing with this since roughly September 16th on some of the older generation devices that Apple offers up. And then come October 16th, when the new devices debuted, I had a chance to play with it on some of the newer platforms.
Awesome. Well, let's do this. For folks that are uninitiated, which is getting smaller and smaller as we go along, because I know more than half of those that could adopt iOS 8 have. That's what I've seen in some recent data. But for those that still aren't on board or just want a better overview of what iOS 8 can do for them, give me an idea. What are your top kind of 3 ideas that you think are really the things to focus on?
It really can be boiled down to 3 big ones: stronger security, new productivity features, and just better data and device management tools.
Let's talk about the stronger security. That's one thing that all of us want these days, is to make sure that whatever device is running is going to be a secure. So what type of security has been built into the operating system?
So what iOS 8 has introduced is expanded data protection from more of the apps that you're using on a regular basis, like your mail and your third-party apps, your calendar, contacts. And what we've introduced is SME users. They can now choose to sign in and encrypt individual messages back and forth for greater control over the security of the mail messages.
And that's important to a lot of folks out there. So, all right, so stronger security. You said the second major area boils down to some new productivity features. We want to be working while we're on the go. Obviously, that's the mobile world we're living in these days. Let's talk about those features.
So whether you're going to be working on an iPad or an iPhone itself, you're really going to be flying when it comes to your workflow. So some of the new time-saving features in Mail just help you manage your inboxes faster, and it's little tiny things like being able to delete messages just by sliding your finger across the screen. You can track individual mail threads. You can get alerts when certain people are going to be emailing you, whether it's your boss, your wife, your husband, your mother, etc. Whenever those people come up, you'll get a specialized email notification saying you have a message from this thread. And if you use Exchange, you can actually set up automatic replies while you're away from your iOS device, for example, when you're away from work.
Now, that's on the mail front, very important. I use my phone all the time for calendar functionality, anything there.
So what you can do is you can now see your colleagues' availability when you're scheduling meetings, very similar to the way Microsoft Outlook does things. When you make yourself available, you can set up a time that works for you and everyone else around you. You can mark events as private if you don't wish others to see them. And it's easier to create events that repeat at a custom interval so that during lengths of time, such as like the first Monday of every month. And you can email meeting attendees from the calendar and let them know you're running late if that is the case.
And unfortunately, that is the case oftentimes these days. But again, extra productivity there for those of us that are constantly on the run and moving from meeting to meeting. What about when I get to that meeting, I need access to some documents and everything, improvement there as well?
I'm glad you brought that up because third-party documentation is very, very important in today's corporate world. So with the third-party document apps, we can make documents available to other apps as easily as really pressing a button without making unnecessary copies. So if you have an app and can access your corporate file servers, you can get that document and share it from your device with it being on AirDrop, which is supported by any iOS device, or OS X, now up to Yosemite, and you can share this whether it's on an iPad, an iPhone, or even an Apple desktop or laptop computer.
All right, so we've covered what? New security, we've got these new productivity features. You said a third bucket, that was better data and device management tools. What do we have there?
So when it comes to data management and content filtering, IT departments can control which apps can open certain documentation and download from enterprise domains using Safari. So they can set up rules and controlling which apps can access certain documentation from iCloud Drive. This is a new networking framework in iOS 8 that makes it possible for third-party networking developers to create powerful content filtering tools. There's also a new feature as well that provides new MDM tools to allow IT administrators to see and do more with the iOS devices they manage. So they can set up new device names remotely and prevent users from adding their own restrictions or erasing their own devices.
Hey, Justin, earlier I mentioned, right, almost half of those that could adopt and move over to iOS 8 have done so. There are folks that can't upgrade because their devices are obsolete. Can they trade those in, get something new? I mean, still get something for that older device?
So what we've been doing is we've allied ourselves with several different groups as far as trade-in and leasing goes. And if we have customers on a corporate level that are interested in trading in any of their legacy hardware, maybe they've got a first or second generation iPad or a group of them laying around, perhaps they've got notebooks or old iPhones laying around, we can have those traded back in for a dollar value. And then to avoid technology obsolescence, what we've done is we've allied ourselves with several strategic leasing groups, and then a company can purchase those devices through the leasing group for a 2 or a 3-year lease. And then based on the fair market value, they can keep themselves up to date with the latest and greatest that Apple has to offer.
Kind of twofold benefits that I hear there. One, it's to the employees, right? They know that they're going to still be working on top-end technology on a regular basis because of the trade-in options. Leasing options, obviously, that's a budgeting concern for IT, so they know they can recoup some money or then reinvest that into the newer technology, so good there. Also on the IT front, though, it means that we're going to deploy newer technology on a more regular type basis. It might be shorter than our typical lifestyles because we're doing it on a lease, so maybe it's every 2 years. That being said, given iOS 8 now, are there certain questions that you hear IT departments asking when they're thinking about this implementation that they're going to be doing in the next couple months?
Absolutely. The biggest question probably is how do we control these devices? And that's in mobile device management, MDM. And that's probably where we excel as PC Connection and Gov Connection goes. What we're able to do is we're able to utilize our team here, our mobility practice team, which is it's a wide array of people. And they're able to do wireless assessment tests. They're able to go over the best MDM options that are available on the market today. And we can discuss some of the options that are available to companies that do reach out to us.
And Justin, before I let you go, I want to know a little bit more about the mobility experts here, this team. Where are they? Where do they come from? Just on the phone? Can they meet me in person?
They're from all over the country right now. We have some stationed here in our main home office, but we also have folks that work from home that are able to deploy out to any of our customers on site. They can do really anything that the customer is looking to do. If you prefer to have a conversation over the phone, we can absolutely do that. If you're looking to have a WebEx conducted and we show you some presentation materials, we can do that as well. Or if you'd like that in-person touch, we can deploy out to a customer's on-site, get an idea of their infrastructure, and really create the best solution possible for them.
Hey, perfect insight, Justin, into the team. Appreciate that. Thanks for the insights into iOS 8 as well. Keep on tinkering. If we have more questions, we'll reach out. Folks, if you want to reach out and learn more about products and services that can help you select and deploy any of the Apple products, then turn to PC Connection. We'll help you optimize your infrastructure with the right software solution or hardware solution for your organization with a full range of services and support. Learn more at pcconnection.com, or you can call 1-800-800-0014. If you'd like to send us an email, we're happy to receive that. connect@pcconnection.com. With that, we are going to wrap things up. Once again, my name is James Hilliard. Thank you for joining us here on Connection Point.